Cancer, hello and welcome to your reading for the week of September 22nd through to the 28th. Welcome to Libra season. Happy birthday to the last of the Virgos. If you're watching this with the Cancer rising, just know that you guys are switching it up. Watch the daily astrology for the sun at 27 degrees. Virgo, if you all want the astro tea, because a lot came through. Cancer, to start off the week at 22 degrees, sorry, the 22nd, we are starting off the week at 22 degrees. We will be at 0 degrees. The sun will hit 0 degrees. And let me scale it back about 12 hours. Yeah, we'll be at 29 degrees. So we might be feeling reverberations from when the sun was at 22 degrees about the 14th. And maybe you guys will feel it extra because the moon was in Aquarius, and that represents your 8th house. So when the sun hits 29, you guys might feel the final shocks of you guys pulling through some of your intellectual property, some of your forward momentum. Maybe you guys moved, maybe you guys have a new commute to work, maybe you guys decided to get a new car or something like that, and you're going to feel very changed, very new, very fresh. And that's what we want for you guys. That's what we ultimately dream for all of our lives, is to have a continual sense of change, expansion, and growth. So our wild unknown archetype, because these guys wanted to come out, we'll start out with these three. We have the Temple, the Self, and the Queen. Oh, very fitting, Cancer. So we did just have a partial lunar eclipse, and on the 22nd we will be changing seasons, changing places, and it's gonna feel like, I would say, that cruise ship moment where you're out on the water. You go out, I've never even been on a cruise ship, this is pure channeling. You go out on the water and you look up at the moon and you feel very serene. You feel the stillness of the night as you glide through the dark waters, untroubled waters. And I feel that there is a new you emerging because you have Mars in your sign to boost you along. This energy of 4 of air is starting out the reading. So time to rest or take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision, and meditation may provide answers. Let me just say this, going deep into ourself will always provide us with a sense of unconditional self-love as well as safety. So whether that's a walking meditation or some form of like work with your hands where you sew, needle and thread. Maybe you like to read, maybe you like to write. There are many ways to get the mind still and many ways to be present with what comes up. We have Ego with Archangel Jophiel. So you might have been wearing a mask, which is why you're kind of like ready to stop living in a certain way. We also have the King of Earth. So you might have been seeing this come through another person. You might have been seeing this happen through your creations. Like you might have been putting on a show to be a specific type. Maybe you were like someone who people have invested in. You have a lot of things going for you with this 8th house energy. And because you all are ruled by the moon will be at 0 degrees Gemini on this equinox day. How thrilling. The astrology keeps us on our toes, doesn't it? And 6 of Earth. So yeah, you were making a pretty penny doing what you were doing. If not, you were making notable strides in the world, but it goes so much deeper than that, Cancer. Life has to be so much more than what the world sees, and we know this. 2 of Water. Our relationships is going to continue to get closer because I sense that through rest, through relaxation, through you taking off the mask, that was my Dolly deck. Wait. You will come into a sense of just surrender, acceptance, an ability to realize who you are, assess the newness in you without having to trash anything. We don't have to give up our manifestations. We just have to continue to see, where is the expansion point? Where do I grow from here? Where do we grow from here? Because you got the Self, the Queen, and the Temple. So you might just want to invoke meditation before you get about your day, before you have the same sort of things come up, maybe in a work environment, maybe in a formal environment that you are in. We have the 5 of Air. So there's creativity in the works. You guys are making something new. It feels like you guys are putting your heart to work. You guys are putting your mind to work, and Mars is going to make sure that you dot your I's and cross your T's as far as being true to your emotions. In the course of the week, wow, we're going to have Mars move from 10 to 14 degrees by the 29th. Jupiter in your 12th house will move from 20 to 21 degrees. So that's some third decant stuff. I almost said third world stuff, but it feels like maybe some of you guys, I don't even like to use that term, third world, because we are in, maybe there are variations of the Matrix playing out for people, but I don't like to use that term in a way that means someone who has less than I am is less human, because it's dehumanizing in my eyes to say third world. But maybe you guys are moving past that. Maybe for some of you guys, you have had this sense of otherness in your life, and now it's like things start to come into form. You start to feel more like yourself, maybe more like yourself than you have in a really long time. Four of Coins with ego. So it could be because you asked for help, and maybe your community came through and was like, hey, we have a perfect thing for you to do to make sure that you feel like you could be yourself and also earn money. And maybe that was within what you currently have going on. Maybe because you started to meditate and get honest with yourself about your real needs and set it up to where it's more like a sacred way of asking for this, making the home a temple. You guys are the home dwellers. Fourth house energy. I know it because I'm a Lunarian with fourth house energy, and I stay in my home. So maybe in the home space, you guys are starting to be recognized and represent yourself anew. Your home could have changed, and you have to make it into your temple for the best results. We do have the 10 of Cups coming up with the King of Earth. So it's just speaking to that energy of ensuring that we aren't just getting caught up in materials. So as a visual artist, I have to say, be in the materials, but not of them, because we have all of this information coming from our experience, from our memories, from the parts of ourselves that are not physical. So why would we get caught up in our materials in that way and restrict any sort of creative flow? All right, so we have, with the Six of Earth, the Knight of Cups. So this is an idea. Maybe you guys do find a new avenue, a new way, a new means of getting around the world, maybe in the vehicle of your imagination, in the vehicle of your fullness, in your queen energy. And this goes regardless of gender. I would say the queen energy for like a masculine is just you understanding your emotions need to take up space in your life. And for a feminine, your queen energy is your emotions supported in your life by yourself or by a schedule, a routine, but you have a way of tapping into those emotions and holding them as sacred, and not just as something that's like a dirty diaper that you gotta like take off and replace with a new one. We also have the Seven of Coins with the Two of Water. So these do represent seeds well planted, but it also represents a little bit of maybe energetic concern or worry about, am I doing enough? Is everything coming together as quickly as possible? The answer is yes. We do have Mercury move from 22 degrees Virgo to 6 degrees Libra to conjoin the Sun at 6 degrees Libra. So this is your emotional foundation, getting that pure check. Check, check, 1, 2, 1, 2. We want to make sure that you guys have the ability to wield that sword of discernment, that sword of truth. Your cards are hopping out. And for this week, we got Oshun and Morgan. And I was reading about Morgan, the goddess of death and magic and rebirth, in the Red Moon book, which, funny, we got the Queen card. She doesn't like bloodshed. It's just that she's the one who might bestow the cycle onto someone who is needing to engage in that energy of, menstrual cycle or, womanhood, coming into your own, coming to be a sovereign individual. So Morgan, Death and Magic, 38. I'm going to read her empowerment. Okay, alignment came through, so we're going to read alignment. Magic is everywhere and in all aspects of life, including death, dying, decay, and what is dark and hidden deep within our very natures. Yet, in our modern culture, we spend so much time in denial, concocting ways to avoid death, refusing to allow nature to be true. We've lost so much wisdom as a result. You are being invited to address the areas in your life that no longer serve and need to die without a promise of what will take its place. Yeah, that was a big thing from the 27-degree energy of my daily astrology. It's under my live section if you guys want to go check that out. Do you need to walk away from someone, a way of behaving or thinking? Like the caterpillar who has no idea how to be a butterfly, you must surrender to the process of metamorphosis. You must make room for the miracle while at the same time not demanding certainty. The magical death goddess Morgan offers you the alignment task of self-inquiry. What death are you resisting right now? What darkness do you need to bring to awareness? How has fear ruled your choices? Who could you be if you had the courage to look at life on life's terms? Your magic is so much stronger than you think. You can do this. Your dreams depend on it. Morgan will be with you every step of the way. Okay, and then with her we have Oshun, and we will read her empowerment message. Oshun, look at her. So sweet. There is a universal law that centers on unrestrained generosity and flow. Oshun, the benevolent Yorubian river goddess, the representation of nourishment, healing, fertility, and prosperity, reminds you that life herself has given you to you freely. You have been offered air to breathe, water to drink, food to eat, and shelter to sleep in. So it is your task to give freely of yourself, no matter how big or small the act. I would say give freely of yourself to your art, to your meditation, to making your home your temple space. That will be something that goes along with this quote. My friend who she runs dream circles on island and now internationally. She says, what works for me works for everyone. What is best for me is best for everyone. Because we aren't going into the world with an empty cup expecting other people to just pour into ours. And we have to be very selective and discerning. Someone who we might think, oh wow, this person's got, something great in their cup, could have like stale beer, and we don't drink alcohol. So we'd be better off going to the kombucha bar and getting something alive, probiotics, if we want something like that, or finding a coconut and having that fill our cup, proverbially. Oh wow. You have been offered air to breathe, water to drink, food to eat, and shelter to sleep in. So it is your task to give freely of yourself, no matter how big or small the act, without expectation of receiving anything in return. That's come up twice now. And I spoke to my oldest today about this, about gifts being a gift just to be given and not expecting to receive anything in return. So that's where this ego and this Four of Earth might be coming through, is just there was an underlying expectation for something to be given to, maybe from another person who is supporting you and giving to you. And you're like, I can't give you that back. That's what you gave me. I have a full cup. What's in your cup, And this could also speak to there being a limit to the joy of having this 10 of cups, this emotional, extreme, fulfilled. You see that the couple is shrouded in black. So maybe they're really sort of like heralding the end of an era. Maybe this king of earth needs to come up and garden. Maybe he needs to move around a bit and get off of that throne. Although we do want people to hold throne over their heart, it's a matter of, are they holding throne over their heart and then expecting for us to do things in return for the gifts that they gave? Because that's not really giving. And this Knight of Cups might be asking you to do that self-inquiry, as well as Morgan, about who you are and who you want to be emotionally for people. Is what you are being asked to do something that you're emotionally available for? And this Two of Water with the Seven of Earth is saying that you have seeds well planted, so nothing can really disrupt what you got going on. It's just a matter of that pivot, of that shifting, of that introspection, of really assessing what your next step can be, not what it should be, because if we do that, if we play that game, we're living in the past, we're not present with ourselves. Okay, the goddess Oshun encourages you to allow gratitude to permeate everything you do right now, even the smallest of opportunities and gestures. The very experience of, I almost said grieving, The very experience of giving and being generous with your heart, time, money, assistance, kindness, and care will provide more value than you can imagine. So even grieving, being able to cry because we've loved, being able to honor the cycles of our life journey. It's all beautiful. It's all very cringe, but also very generative for our art process, right? When you release all attachment to the outcome, you will be surprised to see how the good fortune you have bestowed on others comes back to you tenfold. Oshan reminds you that this is a truth that has existed since time began and will continue through to the world's very end, which is only a new beginning. Okay, Cancer. To those of you just checking this out for Cancer's reading, thank you so much for being here. Go on ahead and subscribe. Watch your sun, moon, and rising videos. And for those of my subscribers, thank you so much. You guys mean the world to me. Leave me a comment. Let me know how you're doing. I would love to see you guys for my upcoming lives. So hit the bell so that you're notified. I'll see you guys in our next reading. Until then, aloha.